All right, Cherokee County, Big Matt and Diamond Dean is in the house. What's going on tonight with everybody? Hope everybody's having a great evening. Guys, we got plenty to talk about. What's going on?
How you doing, Mr. McKinney?
Well, we're just hanging in there. What's it look like? What it is?
I'm just trying to get on here, which we can still obviously do the show and people can see it. And I'm having some phone trouble as far as being able to see who's on, what comments to do, which we can always go back. And I don't know, it won't let me even on if I go to the show page. Huh.
Okay, let me try it on mine. Let me try on mine here.
Oh, here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right. I got it. Philip Pope's watching. How you doing, Philip?
Yeah, hey Philip, how you doing, man?
Great season again.
Oh, again, I know, ain't it great? They've had a good run at it, Dean.
Won 11 or more 4 straight years.
Yeah, I don't know of a lot of other high school teams that could say that.
Just Fyffe and Piedmont.
I don't know if it's on the show page or if it's. Are you on the show page?
Yeah, I'm on the show page. I got it going now.
Okay, I switched it over where we could get it on both, on the show page and.
But it didn't come up on my.
On the page and the side note show. Anyway, all right. Well, we got plenty to talk about tonight, guys. Hope everybody's having a great evening. I want to thank our sponsors off the top of always, the Colbert Firm and Cherokee Eye Clinic and Scott Lloyd's Legal Service. Without those guys, this couldn't be possible. Give Corey Colbert a call over there at 927-5377. Cherokee Eye Clinic, J.R. North McKenzie, need eyes checked and all that going on, 927-4030. And, of course, Scott Lloyd, he's down there on town Main Street, just right up in front of Corey over there. They're right in the same area. You can call him at 266-1416. And I guess y'all had realized that Jonathan and Kim had come out at Warrior Gym just because of work and life and the atmosphere and everything going on with them. He's going to just turn it back over to Todd. So it's still going to be the same kind of thing going on.
I mean, who is it?
He's the guy that owns the place there. I know he's from Florida.
Oh, okay.
He owns all the collage of buildings down there, shopping center area. Super nice guy. I've met him plenty of times.
Shopping center used to be Hopping. Attic's still open?
No, it's an antique store. He runs antique stuff out there now. Guys, there's a lot of high school stuff went on. We went up to, my son Marcus joined us up at Fyffe Friday night. We decided to go up there and freeze.
Yeah, it was cold.
Man, it was cold. I had on 3 shirts and a pullover.
Greatest bathroom in the world. They have a heater in the bathroom. It's fantastic.
And the hot chocolate was great, too. I had shared 2 cups of that with Marcus. It was good. And the game was good. It was low scoring.
Defensive game.
Low scoring game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people had suspected it may be a higher scoring game, but it wasn't.
No. Neither one of them. I didn't see nobody broke one all night.
No, not really.
The fumble.
Yeah.
And he ran it back 50 yards. Somebody caught it.
Yeah.
Anderson's fastest guy on the field.
Yeah. And then he's, just barely had his driver's license.
Yeah.
They got a lot of 9th and 10th graders on that team. I think they had 5 seniors. And guys, congratulations to all the seniors, especially Mr. Dukes. I've met him personally a few times. Super nice kid. Todd, they got a lot of hard work coming out of high school. Mm-hmm. A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this thing. You've never really lost a football game. What, you've lost like 2 or 3 your whole life?
2.
Your whole life.
1 by 1 point, 1 by a touchdown.
So.
And fumble. There was a fumble on the 1 or 2. Which Sacks had a fumble on their going in on their 1 also, but still, I mean, 2 close games.
It's just uncanny what they're able to do up there, Coach Benefield and the staff. So congratulations to them. I know it's not a congrats to lose, but
yeah,
it's a successful season on the age of athletes that they had up there. We always enjoy covering them. And congratulations to Piedmont taking out Winfield over there. Wow. We thought that would be a little closer.
Yeah, I did really. I honestly did. And I think it's the Jack Hayes show over there.
He run 2 and throw 2. And
at least.
And broke more records for.
He had over 300 yards off. I don't know what the other guy did. I'm sure he threw the S's. I didn't find a lot of stats on it. They were all by him mostly.
Yeah, well, Winfield come in high flying. They were undefeated on the year. And had handled business up at Ohatchee, a team that had given Piedmont problems earlier in the regular season. They just took care of business. It's like
43-14.
Piedmont's getting hot at the right time.
Which we don't get into picks yet, but
yeah,
it'd be tough for Saxton. They've already lost to Piedmont.
And speaking of picks, we're not even going to do our picks from last week because they were terrible.
Oh, well, I remember too many upsets.
Way too many. We're going to get into that in just a minute.
Never would have thought.
No, not Hanley and
Fairview winning. Lynette got beat. Hanley got beat.
So we're going to go over that here in just a minute. Right now, we're going to do what we usually do. It's just a round table topics. Just kind of get the conversation started on the show. I hope everybody's having a great evening. We'll state East champions, Georgia, and West champions, Bama. Okay, they're going to meet up and play here in a couple of weeks. So we'll talk about that. And what about Utah, 38, Oregon 17?
I didn't watch the game. I don't understand that. What happened?
Utes dashed the Ducks.
I mean, it's just a blowout, blast out, huh?
I watched some of the first part, and then I come in here and put up a video on my personal YouTube page, and I did that to see if I'd get a strike because I was doing a reaction to Joel Klatt's picks last week, and I think he's very intelligent, super smart guy, but I just didn't agree with some of his picks, and I go on there and kind of argue about that. If you want to watch it, just put in my name on YouTube and you can go watch it. And I'm going to do some more, start putting it on our YouTube page. I'm just doing this as practice, and you can't hear it good. It's really just a test run. Yeah. I just wanted to see how it went. So I argued with that. But
I thought they'd been flirting with disaster lately. Oregon's just been barely winning. I mean, I know that they Washington State pretty good. That game was close in the middle of the fourth quarter.
Well, they're going to have to play. They're going to have to play Utah again. I mean for
the championship.
Yeah,
right. But they're out.
Yeah, we'll see a lot of changes we had in the title there. A lot of changes are going to come in this top five that we have.
I don't even know who five. Well, I guess it'd be Michigan.
Yeah. They're going to jump around, and I got some scenarios laid out for all that, too.
Matter the top five, right?
Well, I mean,
as far as Alabama and Georgia, Ohio State.
The thing is, we'll get into this later. Cincinnati's probably going to be 4 because they want them in so bad.
Yeah, and they did look good yesterday.
And they're going to put in Michigan at 5 to give them that shot. Mm-hmm. So Michigan can come in there and
it's a big game Saturday.
Michigan can play spoiler.
Well, one big game, Ohio State, Michigan State.
Auburn, Alabama. I mean, if they wind up beating Michigan, Ohio State, they're going to get in.
I had looked forward to the Auburn-Alabama game, but what's gone on in the last couple of weeks, actually the last 6 quarters with Auburn has kind of soured that. I mean, they're really having some problems right now that nobody foresaw, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought they were playing fantastic.
A lot of coaching. It's just the new coaching blues. I guess that's the only thing you could really shake it up to be is just new coaching blues. You got a new coach down there and his staff, some new people, some same people. So, well, what about Mullen going out of Florida?
I don't agree with it, but they feel like they had to make a change. You guys had one bad year. He lost Pitts, Tony, and Trask, and they wasn't as good. But I think the way South Carolina beat them, and then losing to Missouri, who's not a very good team, would you agree?
Yes.
That just sealed the deal for him.
I
think the South Carolina thing started it. He needed to win yesterday, and he didn't, losing to Missouri in overtime. I don't necessarily. Well, what do y'all think? I just don't agree with getting rid of him. Well, how did he do there? I'm going to look at his record. Dan Mullen record at Florida.
Let's see. Dan Mullen, Florida Athletic Director Scott Strickland said he woke up Sunday morning having had only a few hours of sleep after getting back from a 24-23 overtime loss at Missouri. Hold on a minute. I can't. Okay. A loss to Missouri. It was certain that the change had to be needed to be made. It was the team's 4th consecutive loss to a Power 5 opponent. Dating back to the final 3 games of 2020 season, the Gators are 2-6 against Power 5 opponents. Mullen was given an opportunity to coach the regular season final against Florida State this Saturday, and he turned that down.
Well, you can't play.
Said he didn't want to be a distraction. Assistant coach Greg Knox was named the interim coach. Mullen was 34-15 in 4 seasons at Florida. His replacement will be the Gators' 4th head coach in 8 seasons.
I just don't agree with it. 4 years. He went 10-3, 11-2, 8-4. They had a good team last year. Won the E. I just don't agree with it. Sorry. Do you?
No. Well, it's just the times that we live in.
Well, I mean, it's just okay. You have a bad season, 5-6, and you're done with it. I mean, up before this season, so he's 29-10 coming in with an SEC championship, and with an SEC runner-up. I'm sorry. Won the E. I just don't agree with it.
Well, I mean, they played
4 years. Wow.
They played Bama a great game. So
who was the national champion? So.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's such just the times that we live in now. It's just the way it is, and I mean, what else can you really do about it? Everybody's expected to be Nick Saban, and everybody forgets that Nick Saban struggled for the first 4 or 5 years. And I understand what they're saying. Florida coming off a bad last couple of games, and Missouri is not really good at all. But losing right there to Missouri is definitely not something that you just can't have that happen.
No, I agree. Man, 4 years. I'd just like to see who they're going to get that's going to do any better.
That's the thing about it. I mean, who else is out there to replace him? On further in some comments, you can go read ESPN or 24/7. You can read where Strickland's talking about just a lot of things behind the scene that he didn't really want to talk about. He wanted to kind of be professional about it.
There may be more about it.
He said there's some little things going on that he didn't want to mention. He's just trying to be professional about it. But after the loss, we'll mention this. The Gators run out of chunk. Mullen's going to be out 24-23 overtime. May the force be with you. It's what your coach over there at Missouri told Mullen. It's a joke from last year. Mullen dressed up as Darth Vader. They played last year on Halloween. So Coach pulls his hoodie up and has a lightsaber and kind of makes a little crack at Mullen there about last year.
Well, I talked to an inside source from Kentucky. Y'all know we've got them all over.
Yes, we do.
And, Mullen just pretty much took no responsibility for that loss. I know little things like that hurt him. He was like, well, we outgained them.
Yeah, even in his leaving statement, he said, Florida's going to have a special place in my heart. And my family and stuff's always very grateful to the times that we had here. And he mentions the national championships that he won there with Urban and the appearances, in the title in the SEC conference games. And it's like he wanted to bring that up, like,
you're really firing me.
You're firing me, and this is my record. I mean, I fired my coaches trying to move pieces around. Is this what we're going to do? I'm trying to do things right, and you're going to fire me anyway.
And I did find out yesterday, which is a little off topic from another inside source, that Scott Frost will not be fired, but he was told to fire pretty much everybody.
Speaking of that, there's no pass interference call on the last play against Wisconsin on a Hail Mary. You can go back and watch it. Yeah, go back and watch it. He just Martinez throws a deep ball, probably hits about the 2-3 yard line, and as he's jumping for the ball in front of him, the Wisconsin player comes across from his left and just wipes him out, and the ball hits him in the shoulder because he hit him and turned him so bad, and Frost went nuts. He got a flag on it because he went nuts, which you're supposed to. I mean, you need to take up for your team. They're in a terrible position. They've lost like every game by a touchdown or less.
Oh, I mean, it's just done. Well, let me look at something right quick. I want y'all to hear this. Except for Ohio State, they only lost 2-9, and I know this isn't much comfort for them, but they're the best 3-8 team in the country. I think that. Now, Wisconsin beat them a touchdown. Ohio State beat them 9. Purdue beat them 5. Minnesota beat them a touchdown. Michigan beat them 3, who's the number 5 team in the country. Michigan State beat them 3, who was in the top 10. Oklahoma beat them 7, who's in the top 10. Illinois beat them 8. Now, that's the only loss you can probably say, what are you doing? Why are you losing that one? But it's just, how much bad luck can you have? I pray that nobody goes through that. And hope nobody goes through that.
He's going to be. I don't know how he's not more on the chopping block than Dan Mullen is. I don't understand. I don't know how.
I think they give him 7 years.
I mean, how would he be? Now, I don't agree with it. I'm just making the devil's advocate. If one's fired for 4 seasons and he had a couple of bad games here lately, he don't have a quarterback. That's the problem. Dan Mullen's the whole problem at Florida. They just don't have a quarterback.
Right.
I mean, there's probably some other little things going on, but your quarterback is the guy that leads your team, and they just keep running them both in and out. But anyway, those are just some hot takes. Nebraska. We'll mention this: 6 touchdowns for the first half for Stroud, 99% QBR. Looking at Heisman candidates, guys, these are going to be the people that are going to talk. Now, we're not saying these are ours. We're just saying this is probably going to be what people are talking about. Young, 565 touchdowns, 95% QBR. So
they both ripped it up pretty good yesterday.
Yeah. Olave, 2 touchdowns, 140, Wilson, 126, and Smith and Jigba had over 100 with a touchdown.
For all three,
three guys,
have over 1,000.
5 touchdowns, 3 guys. I'm amazing. And Alabama's leading receiver yesterday.
Just from Ohio State. That's why he left. Not because he couldn't play. Yeah, I guess he just didn't want to share balls with 3 other guys.
Man, very talented team.
Yeah.
If Ohio State can keep it all together, and Coach Daly and them, they do a good job up there, and you don't hear a lot about them here lately about any kids getting in trouble or nothing like that. So I'm just not sure how their defense will match up if they want to come down here, and if they can stop Georgia or Alabama, or I think they're probably going to wind up.
We got a tough game Saturday. That'll tell a lot, I think.
I think they're going to wind up meeting. I think they're going to wind up meeting Cincinnati, and we'll get into that later too. Now let's go to high school, Dean.
Right.
We've talked about Piedmont Winfield. Spring Garden makes the trip to Mars Hill. Looks like they come out and scored quickly. We were keeping an eye on the score with some people down there, and it wound up 42-19. Got away from them down there a little bit later. They're just a wrecking ball. Mars Hill is what it is up there. Everybody knows the players and the community and how they play, and the region they play in is good, but they're private school.
Play a lot of bigger teams.
Yeah,
they're going to be hard to beat. I think they'll win it again, probably, especially now that Lynette went out.
Very possible. They will be at Cleveland this Friday night, and that may be a coin toss for. I'd love to be at that. I've never seen neither one of them play.
I've never seen that. I know this is probably the best team, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, that Cleveland's ever had.
Yeah, and it's at Cleveland. I've never been up there. It's like it's not really an hour from here. So like up going to Sneed right there.
Right through there.
Just turn left. Just make a left up there at Sneed somewhere, and it's over there. We may wind up over there Friday. Let's see. Sweetwater just dumps it on Maplesville, Dean.
Sweetwater, I think him and Pickens will play for it.
Yeah, Pickens scored 60 on Decatur Heritage, but Decatur scored 46 on Pickens.
Yeah, and of course Raglan scored 60 on Decatur too. I don't know if you could even. I don't know what's going on out there with Decatur. They can obviously put up the points, but they give up 60 2 straight weeks.
Let's see, 7A, last Thompson 35 and Hoover was 10, so that's going to move on for Thompson. They're going to play Central Phoenix.
Surprised by that. I thought Auburn would win that game.
Yeah, 13-0. Central Phoenix ain't lost a game. They're one of the few undefeated lefts in Alabama State.
Patrick Nick's their coach.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
Yeah, well, I get Horse's little brother. He plays there, don't he? Didn't we see highlights from that game?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know much about Central Phoenix City. I didn't know both, but there's another Nick's coming.
Let's see here. 6A, Hillcrest at Hueytown, and Gardendale has to play in overtime, as we're listening on the way home from Fyffe with Clark County, 50-44 in overtime. It took overtime for Clay Chalkville to beat Gardendale.
I thought, and then Gardendale 50-44. Wow. Now, Clay Chalkville was in serious.
Yeah.
Was leading that pretty big at one point, wasn't it? Like 3 touchdowns?
I don't know.
And then they just made it. I'm telling you, it's 3 touchdowns at the store, in Rainsville, and we get to Lebanon, not let the country, you know, right there in between Collinsville and 14, and it's tied up. Then they went on and won in overtime. Chocolate.
They're going to be at Mountain Brook, which beat Pinson 30-0.
Yeah.
30-0.
Mm.
How you? I don't know that. I just you'd had to be at those games. Those to lose a game 30-0. 5A.
You're average. You're probably averaged over the last 2 years 30-something points a game.
That's just kind of because we had talked to people at Pinson and we thought they were bringing in some guys, a younger group in a few spots, but some older guys up on one side of the line, and it just surprised me.
Yeah, 30-0.
5A Andalusia at Pike Road. Pike Road had winning a lot lately.
They've won all year. I mean, I've heard a lot about them all year. Where is Pike Road?
I don't know.
Anybody? Let us know where Pike Road is.
Fairview at Pleasant Grove, the other 5A matchup. And
I'm gonna say Fairview loses. Wow, Fairview.
What about now another big one too, Dean? Jackson is going to be at Vigor because Jackson knocks off Hanley 24-23.
That's a shock.
This Vigor team beat American Christian pretty handily.
Really? Was it? See, I saw Vigor play at center, and I thought they got a good rushing attack. They're good.
The highlights we watched on the Friday night after I got in from, 3340 News. They cover a lot of games, and it started out close for a little while, but Vigor just kept their foot on the gas, and they just pulled away from them. Aniana at Madison Academy. We're familiar with Madison Academy somewhat.
I was shocked at Aniana.
3A Montgomery Academy at
Montgomery Catholic.
13-0, another undefeated team that we figured probably to win the state.
They played for it last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Fyffe played Montgomery. The semis?
I think so.
I think you're right.
I think so.
Either the semis or the quarter. Yeah.
They did play in the playoffs.
Yes, they did.
I don't know if it was close. Montgomery Catholic's going to be a tough act.
Well, from what I've heard on
everybody back, right?
Chase Robinson, shout out Fox Sports at Gadsden, they return everybody. How you high school return everybody?
Everybody after you nearly won the state championship usually results in a state championship.
Yeah, they were up 17-0 at half on Fyffe, and of course, coaches adjust and Ike and them. And it's good to see him on the night Friday.
Good looking kid, nice kid.
Yeah, we got to talk to them.
I told him the Hampton Cove story.
I think everybody up there from Fyffe is not from Fyffe. They just move people in, and they're all just they come from. He's from Birmingham.
Show you third grade. I can show you first grade pictures.
Yeah, he said I got first grade picture. I'm from up here. Well, and we knew that, but they hear that a lot up at Fyffe. They do hear that a lot. When you win a lot, you're just gonna hear that kind of stuff.
It may go on at some places, but I honestly don't think it goes on much up there.
No, and I'm sure there's some kids that come move in. I mean, you're gonna have kids move around. Gonna have kids move around.
Yeah, especially if their daddies play for Benefield.
Yeah,
I want you to play for Benefield. That happens.
Yeah. Of course, Piedmont at Sachs. Now, that'd be another good game to be at. Now,
hard to beat a team twice.
They've already beat Sachs, and the score of the last game was
28-12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and Piedmont seems to be getting better. I don't know how that's possible. We watched them play center the first year. The first game, we go over there and watch. They play
They look good. I didn't think they looked state champion.
That little jamboree, and they moved the ball well. Their defense was pretty solid.
It was.
They were tough up front, so we knew they was going to be tough up front, score on, and they have been. Here's another surprise, Dean. 2A, the Highland home team. They're going to be at Clark County.
Highland home upsets Lynette 15-14. Wow. I just didn't. And, my reasoning was that Hanley beat Lynette 1 point.
Yeah.
You equate the top team in 4A to only beating the top team in 2A by 1. That usually, in most equations, that means they win 2A. And they're not even going to the semifinals. Highland home's 5-5 too. If people didn't know that.
Yeah.
5-5.
So they can sneak in here. If they beat Clark County, which I guess they could. I had it wrote down on the other paper. It's on the page.
Just know they played 5 last year.
We talked about Mars Hill at Cleveland. We've already talked about that one. And you 12-0 Sweetwater 1A team, they will be at Brantley, which will be a slobber knocker. We know these 1A teams closely. We've Cedar Bluffs played them, or we've talked about them a lot over the years. And, of course, Wadley, the team that played Spring Garden good. And Spring Garden's a good football team. They played them good. And they beat Woodland again, this time 27-0 instead of 29. And they will be at Pickens County at Reform. All the coaches around here know about Reform. It's a tough place to play. And if you're up there, if you're going to decide to go, if you're from Wadley and you're listening, you know people, get ribs at the place. You can't go wrong. You can't miss it.
Which was great, but we could have went to the place.
Me and Bun was seriously debating on splitting a leg of.
Yeah, we all should have. That's my one regret from us going up there is that we didn't get something to go.
No.
What we think. We got the game was great. It was like 41-35.
Yeah, they played Marion County.
Marion County won, right? Yeah, I just know there was a ton of Pooh Bear run back a kickoff. Pooh Bear broke one. That was just ridiculous. Marion County had the 4 backs. They just fed one.
Oh, I think they did. That was the year they had them
4,000-yard backs.
Yeah, they had 4 guys go over 1,000 apiece.
Yeah, and they would just, hey, Johnny, you get it this play. Tommy, you this one. Matt, Todd, you get it this one. I mean,
they definitely wasn't stingy with the ball. That's for darn sure. That's that's our high school coverage day.
It's over.
Yeah, for around here, and now we'll definitely talk about Friday night's games when we come back Sunday. Thanksgiving's going to be this week. We all got plenty to be thankful for. Of course, most of all be thankful for is the Lord Jesus Christ to give us our opportunity of salvation, that you don't have to deal with old dirty earth the rest of your life, that you do have a better place to go. And if you don't know Jesus Christ, your Savior, talk to your parents, message me after the show, talk to Todd or somebody, get with your preacher. If you're not sure how to be saved, you admit that you're a sinner, you believe Christ died for your sins, and you confess those sins. But then it don't get easy, guys. No. That's when it really gets hard, because when you get on the winning team, it's people, they want to pull at you all the time, try to get you back off the winning team. So that's the things that we have to be thankful for. And we got a player of the year that we're going to talk about, and we got a lot of. We're going to talk about all the players that was, that our Big Diamond Players of the Week off of the year. We had several great ones, and this is just something fun that we do just to recognize the players. And Dean, you take it away, man. What do we?
So we got. Let's name the nominees.
Yeah, everybody who's up.
So okay, well, first off, we got Michael Reynolds.
Yeah,
from Gales.
He was our first player of the week.
He did win our player of the week. He had over 1,000 yards rushing and 80 tackles. Led the team in rushing and tackles.
That's pretty good when you can do both.
Yeah, and we like Michael.
He's good. Yeah, he is.
He did get a player of the week first week, I think.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Also from Cedar Bluff, Jacob Burleson. He's a nominee. 1,900 yards offense, and the main reason was 8 interceptions. Led the county, broke the school record.
Career he's gonna have
for
right at 20.
And the season.
Right at 20 for a career.
19, yeah. 19. From Sandrock had 2. Ace Ashley, 2,000 yards total offense. Also played defense. And, heck, he can sling it. And Jacob Corneo, 900 yards, over 1,300 yards catching and rushing. Receiving and rushing, 75 tackles. And he's just a sophomore, y'all.
Yeah. How much better can you get with that?
All right.
There'll be more players of the week for that young man.
From center, Damien Ramsey obviously led the county in rushing again. 1,300 yards, 1,600 offense. Played defense too, made 50 tackles. Tough running back.
Yeah, Damien's been around, seems like, for a long time out there, and his mom's, big part of what he does and accomplishments out there, and we share pictures, and I see her usually through the week at Ingles, works there at the deli, and I go over and get lunch.
Yeah,
and yes. He's a good boy, very soft-spoken. We had him call in one night, and she said he was really nervous just calling in. He just
he did good.
Yeah, he just don't like to highlight stuff.
And the other 2 nominees were Cooper Austin from Spring Garden, 67 catches for 1,230 yards, 3 interceptions, 20 touchdowns, and Andrew Floyd, 1,200 yards, 75 tackles. Good job. He had to He had big shoes to fill.
Yeah, and our guys
Sure did.
that are seniors of this list, Michael's he's gonna graduate, and
Right.
Jacob Burleson's gonna be leaving, and Damien.
Except the two Samuels.
Yeah. But for Jacob, he's kind of special to me. Grew up and coached him baseball stuff. Me and his dad shared a lot of memories, baseball, basketball. We coached him in upward stuff. So he's had a heck of a season out there. Just to kind of come in and be with Coach McCorder a little bit and not play a lot of defense his first year. And then just kind of come in and going to be the starting quarterback. And then you get a new coach your senior year, and just to try to adapt and learn new plays and how to run the offense totally different than the way it was. Hats off to him. He's got a little special place for me.
Right.
And he's got some good things coming future-wise for some signing stuff. We don't know all the details yet, so I'm going to try to get over there and be part of that whenever he decides to do. Wherever the good Lord leads him is where we want him to go. And all the seniors, we pray for all of them that this good Lord leads you guys wherever you feel like God has led you in His path that He's got laid out for you. Hey, just pray about it and be close with your family about it. Absolutely.
I think all of them could play at some level.
I agree. Yeah.
But there can only be one.
Yeah.
And you want me to go on and name?
Yeah, we can have our Player of the Year.
All right.
Cooper Austin, Spring Garden,
Big Diamond Player of the Year.
20 touchdowns, 30 yards, 3 picks, and plenty of other tackles. And just had a
7 catches.
fantastic year. We got a picture of him up there right now. This was at the Aliceville game. I was over there covering, and that was a game he made a crazy.
No, the crazy
one-handed.
And he had a big-time interception against San.
Yes, yeah. Really changed kind of the flow of the game, kind of how it was going.
I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, and he's a great kid. He's fun to talk to. When you see him out, he'll just come talk to you. You know, they were up there at the Mars Hill Fyffe Jamboree thing, and of course we stopped and talked to him and everything. His dad and his mom just do a fantastic job out there. And now he's going to go to the round ball.
Yeah, they pick it up. They'll probably play on Tuesday.
Well, they'll be off this week for Thanksgiving. Now, but I bet they may have some kind of practice game.
Well, yeah. I mean, Ricky will get them out. Coach Rat will get them out there pretty quick.
Yeah.
To let you know what his 67 catches, man, is the second. Well, he came close to breaking the county record, which was set by Damien Chambers with 70 the year Center won the state championship. Only 2 other players in the history of the county have caught more passes than Cooper in a season. That would be Gabriel Chambers and Jeff Mullen. Josh Moten caught 66 one year. So he actually caught more passes than Josh Moten.
Wow.
Caught passes. He probably just caught a pass a few minutes ago.
They played at Jacksonville State University.
Yeah. All 3 of these played somewhere. And also Austin was second in yards. That's the second most receiving yards in the history of the county. Moten on that with 1266, and Cooper had 1,230. As far as touchdown catches, that may be a record. I could not find out. Somebody can let me know. But he goes down in history as one of the best receivers to ever play in this county.
Yep.
Would you not agree? He caught 700 yards last year.
How could you say he's not?
I don't know.
I don't know. With those kind of numbers, and anybody that knows football around here in the county, guys, Josh Moten, because we're Cedar Bluff people, if you know the county, he was a special player, and he's right up there numbers.
Yeah, you're right up there with him. Gabriel Chambers,
fantastic, man.
Center to
state championships.
Jeff Mullen started at Jack State.
They all went to Jacksonville.
Started at Jack State. I think Chambers ended up playing for Faulkner, but played for Jack State.
Yeah.
He's right up there with him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so congratulations to that young man. Well deserving.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of our high school in a nutshell. We thank y'all guys for being with us all through the season, and it's not over because we will be back next week with 1 through, at least we're going to talk about 1 through 3 or 4A handedly. 5, 6, 7A, not so much. We don't have any of those teams really around here besides Gadsden or maybe up Fort Payne or something.
But Austin Cooper. That's a funny story, and we'll get off of the high school. But the first game that Cooper ever played in, where I was the PA announcer, I called him Austin Cooper on half the night. And somebody texted me and says his name's Cooper Austin.
You know his dad's Coach Austin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, Austin Cooper on the tackle. Austin Cooper. And that was 4 years ago. He started 4 years.
How about that?
Yeah.
Great young man, and congratulations to him as being Player of the Year. The team had a great run this year. I mean, the only game where they go out on, it's probably more likely to a state championship team.
Right. More than
That won it last year also. I mean, what else can you say? Well, we'll switch gears, and we'll hit it over to the college.
Ball.
Switch over to college ball. Give us about 2 seconds here, and we'll bring it right back over. Hang on.